Welcome back, Duelists. It's your boy, the Almighty, back with some decent content for you. Now, this is the same day tournament, the box tournament I was talking about. It's the next match right after the one I just lost, which should be uploaded before this one. And once again, I'm playing another hero player, which was honestly a surprise because there aren't really a lot of hero players at my locals. Or, you know, not enough that you go back to back. Anyway, it looks like I won the dice roll. And just thinking about what to do. That's not nice. But yeah, looks like I'm thinking on like what to do with this hand. If I remember correctly, this hand was not that good. Here I'm going to normal summon the Blazeman, effect a search for Poly. That is probably, you know, the move of a desperate man. Because that, like, obviously Blazeman is not the best normal summon, right? Like Vion or Stratos. But it seems that I've had no way to get to those cards. And at least having the Blazeman is not half bad. Right? So, Blazeman and I get Poly. Now, technically, Blazeman also functions as a Foolish Burial. However, I haven't actually ever successfully resolved that. But yeah, I get Droll flipped on me, and that's it. Like, I can't do anything after Droll. Because I'm pretty sure I had Liquid in hand. And, like, now I'm reading the Droll just to make sure, like, drawing cards is something I can't do. And I can't. I'm not allowed to draw cards or add from deck to hand, so I can't like be searching off of, you know, any Shadow Mists or even getting Miracle Fusion to hand off of the Sunrise. And you know, that's the game, man. It is what it is. So I'm gonna cast my NEOS Fusion. Probably gonna send NEOS and Aqua Dolphin. But if I remember correctly, the reason that I was like devastated by the Droll is because I actually had a way to get to Cosmo, right? I've got the Blazeman, I can get to the Poly, I can get Devicer out because I have NEOS Fusion in hand, and it's like, okay, cool, I can set everything up. Cosmo. Finally I can get this off. And it's not to say that I've never gotten Cosmo off before. I have, right? Like a couple times here and there. But like it's not as consistent as I want it to be. And it's obviously partly my fault. I've been changing the deck, like just trying to figure out what flavor of the deck works best. And so far, you know, we're still cooking in the kitchen, so we'll see. But yeah, this is, you know, not an optimal board, and I have no idea what I may have said either. But it is what it is. Yeah, Homeboy's just asking about the Foolish effect, but it's not a quick effect, it's just on my turn. But yes, up against another hero player, not the best kind of opening. But yeah, so he's got Rhoda, gets a search. And, you know, we assume it's going to go kind of the same way. Rhoda search Stratos. Shuffling the deck. I know it's like a habit. It's something I had to train myself out of. But it's like, I'm going back into the deck. So like, there's no reason for me to shuffle it and hand it to my opponent, you know, for the cuts at this stage. Because like, we're going to try to go back into the deck. Like, he's playing Foolish. Now that I think about it, I should probably throw Foolish into this deck. Right, it probably could be useful. Yes, that's something I'm going to do. Make a mental note of that. Yeah, so Foolish, I mean, what he said, Shadow Mist is probably the best target, unless he's got some other way to make use of that, in which case, you know, like Shadow Mist or Malicious, those are good targets. In this case, yep, sends the Shadow Mist, you're getting the search. Right, yeah, nothing else to chain, cool. Homeboy's going to get his search off. What do you search for? He went for Ferris. Okay, that's fair. Personally, I default towards liquid if it's possible to make sunrise, just because I like the concept of drawing cards. You know, it just makes you feel like you're getting to an answer, which obviously is not the right way to look at it. You shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, I like drawing cards is cool, so I'm going to go to draw cards. You should go for the thing that's like, okay, this is going to win me the game, right? It's obviously the right play. Anyway, so he normals the Stratos. I'm going to use Chalice here, and Homeboy's going to use his Mask Change, which completely the right play, right? You definitely want your Stratos to go off. That search is phenomenal. And then he's got Blast to hit the board. It's gonna half the attack of one of my creatures, and for the mere price of 500 life points, he's gonna bounce a set card on the field. I think it's actually specifically a spell and trap, but yeah. So that's nice. That's nice. You know. But yeah, it's, you know, like I said earlier, it's not the worst feeling in the world when you like lose to, you know, to something that you yourself enjoy playing. And I completely forgot to mention this, but Gaff, homeboy from the earlier video, that brother placed 4th in the tournament. So, you know, I got beaten by the guy who placed 4th. There could be worse things in the world. Now it looks here like I chose to mask change the Brave NEOS, right? And the mask change went back to my hand. The reason that worked that way is because as the chain is resolving, mask change is still on the field. So when Blast bounces back to hand, I get the mask change back. So the mask change targets the Brave, brings out the Koga. Mask change resolves, still is on the field. Blast then resolves, sending the mask change back to hand, which like is kind of a neat little interaction which I discovered that same day. It was kind of cool, because obviously, you know, he just paid the 500 to bounce the mask change back. Otherwise, why would you do this, right? Like it's not the most opportune time to summon the Koga. But yeah, I'm just explaining Koga's quick effect. You can banish something from your graveyard. I think it's a hero. Don't quote me on it. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. Koga isn't that important of a card. Sorry, bud. But it is what it is. But yeah, so you can banish a monster, and then it reduces the attack of one of your opponent's monsters by the attack of the banished monster, and like permanently does that. So it's not to like end of turn or whatever. Plus, Koga gains 500 for each monster on your opponent's side of the board, so it kind of gets bigger over time. And it's like a decent body, actually. Like I thought the attack boost was only in the moment of summoning, but it actually kind of continues. You know what? I think I am actually going to put Koga up on the screen just so you guys can actually read it. Anyway, yeah, we got the Ferris. He pitched the Mali to get the Ferris, which means, you know, there's the increase, tributing, increase, Vion, ultimately Poly. Right, very, very standard stuff, bread and butter. I don't know if brother plays the Dark Angel here, but it would be unnecessary to send the Dark Angel. Or against me, because like I just lick it off. Anyway, he sends the Devicer. No, not Devicer, Denier. He sends the Denier off the Vion. Mali for Mali. I don't know what he's going to banish for Poly. He's probably going to banish like a Ferris or something. And then, yeah, you know, standard stuff. Linking off for Cross Crusader. Or you know, Wonder Driver, that's also an option. But yeah, Crusader probably comes first. Crusader for Denier. Denier's effect, stack the Mali on top. Tribute to Search. And this is also kind of important because you have to remember, when you stack the Mali on top with Denier, make sure you actually resolve a search after the fact, because if you don't, you're going to end up drawing the Mali, and that is not good. That is bad. That is actually just bad. Anyway, he goes for Just to the Gold, which is honestly, like Malicious Bane, so much fun. Such a cool card. And once again, I'm plugging Jayden BR. Like, you just watch his content. So much fun. Anyway, it looks like he banished the Stratos instead to seek Poly off of the Vion. I love the art on Homeboy's Poly, by the way. Very nice. It would be nice if I had some of those ones as well, but I've got the Legendary Collection Yugi's World ones, just because, you know, secrets. They're nice. I think I have common Polys in my NEOS deck, though. But once again, don't quote me on that. Anyway, so he's linked off again for the Wonder Driver. Now, let's see. Yeah, Mally for Mally. And then at this point, you probably want to use Denier's once per duel effect, right? Summon itself. Unfortunately, the stacking is once per turn. Otherwise, maybe that's busted. I don't know. I think heroes just need, you know, we just make them more OP. Just come on. Anyway, yeah. So hardcast for DPE. Wonder Driver's effect lets you, you know, recycle either a Master Change or a Poly. So he just sets the Poly right back down. It's like whatever. Discarding the Adjusted Gold, searching the Dark Calling for Malicious Bane. Right, standard stuff. Now, I do have the Koga. That Koga is a 4.5k monstrosity. However, DPE is reducing the attack of all the monsters by 200 for every hero in the grave. So I'm sure in the video we did the math and whatever, but I'm not going to bore you with details like math and numbers. Numbers aren't even real, man. Okay? None of them are real. Actually, no, that I unfortunately don't actually believe that. I think numbers exist. And like numbers are real. But then what the hell are like unreal numbers? Like, you know what? I don't believe in negative numbers. Like -3, like no, get out of here, bro. Or like a pi 3.14. No, it doesn't exist, not real. I don't believe in that. Or like all these other like constants or whatever. None of that stuff is real, man. Those are all made up numbers. The only kind of numbers I believe are like 1, 2, 3. You know, those numbers make sense. Those numbers are real. Time is not real though. I refuse to believe that time is real. And you can't change my mind on that. Yep. Anyway, so he's gonna Poly again. What would you go for here? Sunrise? Yeah, okay, yeah. So Polys for the Sunrise effect to search for Miracle. Unfortunately, by him, you know, polying those things off, obviously Koga reduces in attack points. And it's even more so because now there are, you know, more heroes in the grave. I should definitely, yeah, I'm going to table this discussion about like numbers and time, but definitely I have a reasoning behind this. Anyway, subscribe. But, we need not get into that here. We're just going to keep it lighthearted, that YouTube content. So yeah, he's going to activate DP, right? DP does that non-targeting destruction. I just assume that the Koga is going to go, so I'm going to chain Koga and target the Sunrise. Because obviously after DP leaves the field and comes back, it's not like a perpetual drop. It's just like while it's on the board. So as it leaves and comes back, it's going to forget that it lost attack points. But yeah, anyway, it looks like I'm taking... It'll be 27, because, you know, Sunrise is 25 plus the 200. But then Homeboy plays the Dark Calling, banishing the Adjusted Gold and HEROS to get Malicious Bane, which honestly is such a fun card. And unfortunately, because, you know, Bane is a Dark, he's getting an attack boost because of Sunrise. On top of that, because he decided to use Bane's Raigeki effect, Bane gains attack for every monster it destroys via that effect. So like I'm just eating a whole bunch of damage here, right? There's like 29 from the Sunrise and then like 30 something from the Bane. Bane starts out at 3. it's like 34 just because of Sunrise, and then because it blew up the, I think it's probably like at 36 probably. So yeah, I took like almost 7k damage just off of this. But surprise, surprise, I have Spirit of Neos in hand, so I'm actually taking nothing. Ha! So yeah, after he declares the attack, right, I activate the effect of Spirit of Neos in hand, special summon it to the board, effect a search. So I get a search off, and I'm actually taking 0 damage. Now this is what I mean, like sometimes it's just nice to have the Spirit of Neos, right? It's just there, and it keeps you safe sometimes, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, it can be destroyed by card effects. It can be targeted. Like the inability to destroy it via battle is actually very nice, but it's not enough. Anyway, it looks like I searched engage Neo space off of that. Either that or it was an instant contact. We'll find out in a second. And yeah, okay, so homeboy's not got much else to do, it seems, so just cut the deck. I'm, reading through my graveyard, it seems, to see if there's anything useful in there. And because there have been times, like when I'm playing Heroes, like increases in the grave and you take damage, right? Increase has an effect where after that happens, you can kind of just set it back. And it's useful because, like, there have been times where remembering that effect has won me games, and consequently forgetting that effect has cost me games. But yeah, standby phase, DPE, it's back, is what it is. Which means obviously the Spirit of Neos I know is not long for this world, because even if it survives here, it'll get destroyed. But yeah, so I'm going to use its other effect, bouncing out to get the vanilla Neos. He could have responded with the DPE, homeboy elected not to. Okay, like, works for me, man, like, thanks. Unless, has he changed his mind? In which case that's going to suck. Because, yeah, there was a moment where I was playing against one of my buddies. Oh, maybe I changed my mind. Did I elect not to do that? Oh yeah, probably, because I did NEOS Fusion. A NEOS something. Anyway, whatever, not the point. What was I talking about? Yes, I was playing against a buddy of mine. And I tried to, tag out the Spirit of Neos to get vanilla Neos out, and I think he had a Mirror Jade on board, so I activated to bounce out. He activated Mirror Jade, and because the Spirit of Neos has to shuffle back for you to get Neos, I didn't get the Neos, and because I didn't get the Neos, I couldn't get my favorite contact off, and it cost me the game. So yeah, whatever. Like these things happen. Anyway, because I have Neos Engrave, the creature that I bring off of the instant contact is live. So I go for Grand Neos, targeting to bounce the Bane. Because, well, that's my only target. Because if I target to bounce the DPE, just chains DPE, whatever. If I target to bounce the Sunrise, that doesn't do anything. Because Bane is the biggest body on the board at the moment, right? It's like 35 plus. And the only way I get over it is with the Shining Wingman, but it can't be destroyed by battle, so it would just be like I just be hitting over it because it's just a bigger card. And then if somehow he manages to get his Bane high up enough, then I'm getting punched in the face. So ideally I prefer to do the punching and not get punched, but yeah, is what it is. Anyway, so I've changed the Spirit of Neos into attack mode. Okay. So let's see how this works out. I'll try to attack with the Grand Neos into the Sunrise. Huh? I'm confused here. Yeah, I'm confused. Ah, yes, no, now I remember. I remember way earlier when I used Koga to reduce the attack of Sunrise. Yeah, the attack of the Sunrise is still reduced. And oh, I couldn't tag it out because I had NEOS in hand. Okay, so there's that. That explains why that didn't work out. Anyway, I poly the Grand NEOS out, get Sunrise. Sunrise search for Miracle Fusion. Man, that's just funny. Yeah, because I only play 2 NEOS in this deck. I used to play 1, and then I messed around with EN Wave for a bit, and it was like not that good. And then I just kind of left 2 in there, and it seems like 2 is the right number because I think I wouldn't play it at 3. It's an atrocious card. Anyway, I'm using the Miracle Fusion now. It looks. What are we sending out? I should send the NEOS and something. Probably the NEOS and the Aqua Dolphin for absolute 0. That's probably what I'm going to do here. You know, absolute 0 for a little bit of protection. But yeah, man, this version of me doing a lot of thinking, huh? A lot of thinking, and you're still about to take an L. That's gotta be devastating. And it is. It is devastating. Yeah, it looks like that's what we've done here. For absolute 0. Which is, you know, like, you ask my personal opinion, I'm gonna say it's like a slightly improved Mirror Jade. But obviously, you know, Mirror Jade has got that banishing effect, whatever. But, you know, the Raigeki is nice, man. Anyhow, homeboy draws, he gets his DPE. And, you know, I should have summoned the Sunrise in defense. It seems like that's a mistake that I'm making. I should definitely be learning to summon creatures in defense. They'd do me a lot, you know, a lot better service if that was the case. Anyhow, you know, as a surprise, we're still in this, we're still fighting, and we've got a chance, right? Although it's getting slimmer by the second. So let's see how this works out. What are we thinking here? I'm gonna assume that his thought is just to, you know, hit over the Sunrise or something, perhaps. If I was him, I don't know, I guess I would try to DPE, blow up the Ab Zero, and then try to set up some sort of a board after the fact. Now this just making me realize I should definitely put D-Barrier in the side deck. Or if I'm insane, maybe I should just put it in the main deck. I'm definitely not putting it in the main deck. That would actually be very bad. Because I mean the deck is already kind of bricky as it is, right? And then you have to make the decision, like, am I trying to stop my opponent from playing, or am I trying to play? And I'm already having trouble playing as it is. Definitely need to figure out better ways to play. Okay, so he's activating his own Miracle Fusion for Great Tornado. Oh. Having the attack of all my monsters. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that this was a bit of a misplay. Like, yeah, my Sunrise is at 0 attack, right? But because I have Ab Zero, it ain't so bad. Ain't so bad, you know? Actually, does it make a difference? I'm just trying to think. No, I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. So, you know, we punch over the sunrise. Or at least that's what should be happening. And we're taking 10 years to make decisions, guys. What's going on? So yeah, I take like basically 0 damage. I mean, with a 0 attack sunrise, I take basically the full damage. Or at least I'm relatively certain that you can't have negative attack points in this game. But yeah, I'm basically taking full damage. See, once again, if I put it in defense mode, I might have been able to survive a little longer. It might have been a bit better for me, you know. And technically speaking, you guys know the last card that I have in hand, right? It's like from way earlier when he used the blast to send that mask change back to my hand. That's what I'm holding. And I don't play acid. So there's that. So yeah, just, you know, he decides to attack into it, and there it is. On the top deck, called by the DP in the draw step. But the problem is, at this point, my life points are less than 2k, right? So he just has to do denier. And now here it is. This is a mistake that I made. I should not have conceded here. Anyway, subscribe. So I should not have conceded at that point. Right, because even though he gets denier back, and he's going to stack the Mali again, he's going to end up drawing into the Mali. Which is, you know, it's nice. Because at that point, I could have gambled on him not having, you know, another hero or whatever. But unfortunately, I decided to concede because I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's just faster. We're gonna run out of time. We've been taking this round one is like way too long. So let's go game 2. And here you see game 2. Yeah, I take first. And this time, yeah, you know, this time I'm fine losing life points as long as I'm the one paying them to get something out of it. Right? So hero lives, Strato, Strato search. Very consistent. Although in my defense, I should not have done that. Probably should have gone for the Shadow Mist. Anyway, yeah, so hero lives, resolves, summons Stratos, effect to search. Right. As that search resolves, then he Droll unlocks. So the Vion is in my hand now, and I'm rethinking what I'm going to do. Because, you know, I can't add anything else back to hand. So it's like, okay, that's not good. Because, you know, this deck, it needs it. Needs it. But yeah, I paid my 4k to get my Stratos out. I still have my normal. And let's see what we get. We get out of it. Okay, we must be talking about something, but I have no idea what we're talking about. And it's like, okay, so I normal summon the Shadow Mist instead. NEOS Fusion, I should probably send out NEOS and Aqua Dolphin. That's kind of like normally what I go for off the NEOS Fusion, because off of Devicer I can get Grand Mole Dark Panther. Right, so just having some way to get Aqua Dolphin in there and then kind of hoping like, oh, let's get the favorite contact, roll the dice. And you'd be surprised, it actually works. Like, it works 100% of the time, at least 40% of the time. So, it's, you know, those are good odds, you know? Anyway, yeah, you know, you get the Brave NEOS. And I'm kind of chilling here because I know that I already have Mask Change in hand. If I didn't have Mask Change in hand, I would have Hero Lives out the Shadow Mist instead. Because I know that heroes need their grave, right? So the Dark Claw is going to be very good here. Stratos, best normal summon in the game, right? He gets a Stratos, normal summons effects to search, and I'm like, cool, mask change, Dark Law. So now I get a search as well, he gets a search, but I get to snipe off the Dark Law. Works for me. And there, I'm like thinking about putting into defense, because it's like, oh, maybe I should, you know, learn my lessons. But then I look at the rest of the board, it's like, bro, they're all in attack anyway, you might as well just commit to your mistake. Leave it in attack. Plus, Dark Law's better off in attack. Anyway, off the Shadow Mist, I get Liquid, because I'm trying to set up for next turn. Right, I still have the Vion that I searched off the Stratos, so I know I can get Poly into my hand. Anyhow, he goes for the Ferris off the Stratos, and I'm like, you know, not gonna cut his deck. I shouldn't cut his deck because he's going back in, right? Anyway, I get a snipe, and at this point, I ask him, I'm like, what's the one card you don't want me to hit? Because obviously that's the one card I want to hit, right? Bang. Dark Ruler no more. Oh man, if I hit any other card besides this, GG, because that Dark Law is the one thing keeping me relevant. So yeah, we're just chatting a little bit here, and he's like, yeah, you hit the one card I needed you to not hit. And he goes Ferris off of Ferris, you know, for the increase. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, works for me, mate. There's not really much you can do after this, right? Because sure, you can get the Vion, but then Vion's ability to dump doesn't help you, right? Because stuff's getting banished. So yeah, have fun with that. Anyhow, yeah, here homeboy's like, oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna play through the Dark Law, and I'm just like, you can't, you don't. Like, there's no playing through Dark Law, bro. Like, I play Heroes too. We know how this ends. Like, and I mean, you know, I guess in a way it's like psychological mind games. Obviously, I'm trying to get into my opponent's head, like, yo, you know, just scoop, bro, just concede, just let me take the W, dog. But yeah, like, it's all like just friendly, you know. Unless I'm feeling super competitive, then yeah, you do what you got to do to win. Here's the normal summon of the Vion. Probably gonna picture Shadow Mist to search. But yeah, like, looking at the abysmal state of my opponent's board, it's, you know, I'm not feeling too bad. Like, he didn't have his super poly or anything. Homeboy just didn't open what he needed, you know. Did I? Oh, I probably sided out a Shadow Mist because I picked the Blaze Man off the Vion, and that gets me my poly. And then, yeah, I just realized, like, oh yeah, I'm going back in as well, so there's no need to cut it just yet. But it's like a force of habit, you know, like, you just do it all the time. Anyway, so we've got the chain links. So Sunrise, I'm gonna search for my Miracle Fusion now, and then my Liquid, I'm gonna get the draw to discard one. Now, because of like the Miracle Fusion at this point, like, I have game on the board, right? Like, I punched over the Ferris. Well, technically I don't push over the Ferris because I'm going to just use Sunrise to pop. Or shit. Oh man. Because, like, obviously if I use Sunrise to pop, then the obvious thing to do is to chain the increase, tributing the Ferris to summon itself. But, like, I've got a ton of damage on the board. And I probably have enough for game as well. Right? Yeah, like, looking back at these duels, it's like, huh, man, there's a lot more that I should consider, right? Like, game theory or whatever. But yes, I definitely should have. Okay, so I definitely should have used the Miracle Fusion. But yeah, had Chalice in hand. Tries to get the increase, trying to get some bodies on board, you know, some blockers. And I'm like, he definitely did it too early with the tributing. So I'll attack with the Brave NEOS, that way I get the search. Now obviously if I decided to get absolute 0 out at this moment, right, with my Miracle Fusion, that's 3 different attributes, that's plus 600 damage. So that's game. Because the Ab 0 is like over 3k, the Sunrise is over 3k, and the Dark Law is over 3k, right? But I'm not just going for game. You gotta kind of style on your opponent, you know? Plus, I haven't done the Cosmo this entire tournament. So it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get myself a favorite contact. Neato. Off of the Brave NEOS, which oddly was kind of useful. It's a decent enough card. Can be useful at times. And I should definitely remember to summon it in defense mode, because that way I don't have to take a disgusting amount of damage. And now, yep, so I'm going to link the Sunrise and the Brave NEOS off for Devicer. And it's a good thing he doesn't have another Droll. Reveal the Nebula NEOS, add Dark Panther Granmal. And remember way earlier in this round when I sent off the NEOS and the Aqua Dolphin, now I have everything set up for Cosmo. And it's like, you know, I'm feeling it. And it's like, yeah, finally. Oh, set 1 card, pass turn, bro. Go ahead. Draw. Do what you got to do, Duelist. And then he draws, and I'm like, cool. Favorite contact. And it's like, fortunately, Konami decided to ban Red Reboot. So I'm like, I'm chilling, you know? We get the 3 Neospatians with different attributes and a NEOS, and we special summon Cosmo NEOS. On summon, the effect basically says, like, you can't play cards. Which obviously is not the actual effect, and technically speaking, it's not the perfect turn skip, because you can still activate and resolve stuff from hand and or grave. Just you can't activate or resolve anything on the field. And that's basically it. So like, while yes, I did have game, you know, like last round, the point was to get Cosmo NEOS out. And at this point, homeboy's like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna just scoop. And then we agreed to a draw after this, because there's only like 2 minutes left in the match. And it's like, okay, cool, win 1, you know, lose 1, whatever. But yeah, so that was it. And like, yes, I didn't win the round. We got to a draw, but given that I lost the last one, I drew this one, I'm okay. You know what? It's definitely a step in a better direction. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all in the next one, yeah?